So welcome everyone to Ethereum Cat Herders Meeting 51. This is Pooja Ranjan. And before we get into the agenda, we have Anat from the Ethereum Magician team. And I would like her to share her thoughts.
Yes. Okay. Hi guys, I'm Annette and I'm from Ethereum Magicians, and today I would like to bring to this call ideas or discussion about Ethereum Cat Heller's roadmap. As we are on behalf of Ethereum Magicians, we are getting ready some open roadmap, all our like roadmap that we want to publicly share with the community, what we want to work on this year. And on our agenda is mainly we want to work on the events, and just basically nurture the community from the event side, and then we want to support the community and work mainly on like the event kind of side of the like community and work with like events. For the last year or like the end of 2020, we've been working on a layer 2 session, and we were thinking of continuing on that front as well to probably nurture the layer 2 and like share the word around that and work on events like more into layer 2 and state channels. And then that's pretty much it that we have. We came up with, but we are open to hear your ideas. What is like on your agenda for this year? Like, what are your plans? And then collaborate together, or like keep this like open ended.
Sounds really good. Thank you, Annette, for joining us today. Yes, we would be happy to collaborate like we did in past 2 years. And we have quite a few things lined up. As you mentioned that we did some events together, and we will be planning some more. This year, we are more focused on EIPs as like, supporting network upgrade. So definitely we could talk more on that. And I believe we have one agenda item also that is about a community call that is listed for the meeting today. So looking forward to collaborate and work together.
Sounds perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so I have shared the agenda in the chat, and let's move on with the first item. It is about the ECH contribution to the contents at ethereum.org. As many of us already know that we are in touch with Sam Richards from the ethereum.org team and trying to collaborate to make some of the resources of the cat herders to the ethereum.org. On this topic, I had a meeting with him last week, and he listed out some of the collaboration point on their Discord. One of the items that we discussed was moving EIP resources from the cat herders website to the ethereum.org. And on the Ethereum cat herders website, we will just point it to the EIP page at ethereum.org for like more information on that website. So it was suggested that the cat herders website should focus on being an index rather than an in-depth content repository. And it should point to the canonical source elsewhere, like eth1.o spec repo for network upgrades, ethereum.org for other stuff, to avoid a duplication. The potential benefit that we see here is making the work of ECH already doing more easily and discoverable to more people, and leveraging the Ethereum community to contribute to crowdsource improvement of these pages. If you click on the link, Sam has left a detailed thoughts on what are the area of collaboration. So would like to hear people's thought on it.
And when you say the link to Sam's thing from last time, you're just meaning the comment from the last meeting, right?
The Discord link you meant?
Yeah, oh wait, sorry, there was 3 links and I didn't know which one you were referring to.
Okay. The ECH contribution to content at ethereum.org, that will point towards Sam's comment.
Got it. So it is the one from last time. Okay. Yeah.
Right. So the main question here is about the migration of the content. Like currently we are curating resources for EIPs, and we are having it at Cathoder's website. So the question with the rest of the group member here would be like, is it okay to just keep on moving all the stuff from Ethereum Cathoder's website to ethereum.org, and we'll be just pointing it towards the ethereum.org?
I think that's okay based on if we just look at the notes from last meeting and kind of talk about the specifics of what we went through. I think a lot of the trend or the theme behind what we move and what we don't move is if it is an overview of something or if it is links to, so I guess if it gets down to like the protocol layer, so if it's like the ETH 1.0 spec repo and stuff, so like the upgrade document for YOLO, we don't want to move the upgrade document for YOLO v3 or the one for Berlin, but we do want a section on the ethereum.org website that says here's where the documents are and then point them to GitHub. On other sections, we can have sections where there's like network upgrade information on ethereum.org, and that can be taken off the cat herders website.
Hudson, if I may interrupt, because the comment was in 3 sections, this particular topic that I'm trying to bring here is not about the Ethereum network upgrade. It's about the EIP resources. Say, for example, we do it for 1559, EVM 384. There's a list of curated resources. And like, for Ethereum network upgrade, as we discussed in the EIP meeting, like you suggested that it's better to get in touch with James and then do it. So sorry for the interruption, but I thought
no problem. Yeah, no, I was lost on there. Yeah.
I should have been more clear. So this particular is about EIP resources to be moved to ethereum.org. So I'm going to share the link in the chat. Also, it is there in one of the items. If we look into there, the Ethereum cat herders present website, they have the list of these resources for EIPs under discussion. We have listed it for EVM 384, EIP 2537, EIP 2539, 1559, and ProcPow, and like all the resources which are scattered all over the places. We are trying to pull it together and keep it at Ethereum cat herders website.
Okay, I see now. And so the main question is, what do we want to move over, or that we're moving it over?
So the main question here is like, is it okay to move over the entire content to the ethereum.org page and we just have the pointer? Okay, fine. If you want to read about it, you can go to ethereum.org page, or we want to do it vice versa. We want to still keep all these content on our website and ask them to point it towards us.
I like the first idea personally, where we move most, if not all of it, to ethereum.org, and we leave our website to point to it so that there's a more centralized place for the data, with the exception of, I think the EIP resources section, I think has EIPs that don't necessarily line up with anything. I guess I'm thinking from a perspective of a first-time visitor to this EIP section on either website. If they come here and they see EVM 384, 2537, 1559, and ProgPow, and account abstraction, there's nothing that is like a paragraph explaining why these are all in a list. On our website, it makes more sense because it's things we've contributed to. So if we do port it over, we shouldn't do it wholesale. We shouldn't just port it over completely. We should be selective and curate it when we do, which we can easily do in a document, just like be like, move this, don't move that, move this, but add this paragraph above it, that kind of thing.
Okay. So yes, these resources are just curated. Some of them we have organized, and some of them other community member did that. We just have collected it here for people to refer. If somebody wants to have information on any of the EIP, they can just visit here and get the list of that. But as you suggested, maybe it would make more sense to first to come up with the list again, like what particular section that we want to move there.
Yeah, I just don't want to do a whole copy and paste of the page is all. We don't need to go into like a super amount of detail, but just maybe one Google Doc so we don't do too many, because I don't want to get over bureaucratic, but just something that will say, like, leave comments that say, hey, we should move this, or hey, we should not move that. But yeah, let's hear what everyone else has to think too.
I was wondering whether it would be worth sort of articulating with this new sort of paradigm in mind, what would then be the purpose of the Ethereum cat herders website? Are we able to articulate that? That might guide decisions around what should stay.
Yeah, very well that you bring it up, Shane. Like that was going to be my next immediate question after this, because based on these things, we would like to have consideration of what we would want to have it on ethereum.org page originally. The present page, the main content of the Ethereum cat herder page are three major sections. One is network upgrade, one is developers meeting, and the third one is EIP resources. So they're curious to hear what people think about what we should be having here.
So is it more about presenting the work that cat herders do primarily? Is it about showcasing their work?
That was the idea initially.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's good. I think if I think about the ECH website, it should be, who is ECH, what do we do, and how can you get involved? Those three things. And then a culmination of those can be modeled around the fact of spreading information about the cat herders, but also making it look good so that we get funding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so if you can focus it on just the stuff that cat herders do, like for instance the Peep and EIP videos series, that's an incredible resource. I assume that that would be one of the core aspects of the proposition that you'd be left with. So talking about that, why it exists, the schedule for it, the videos.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think we may have to change from the original prototype that we have created now, that we are considering some of the contents to be kept and some to be moved over there. We may have to work on that part. But on and all, as it appears that we would like to be focused on who are we, what we do, and how to be a part of this group. Am I reading it right?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Sounds that way to me. Like if we're thinking about the journey of a person who perhaps might be completely fresh to Ethereum, let's say they Google it for the first time, they're likely going to hit ethereum.org resources. So I think what you're saying is the general overview type information, that's where that type of information belongs. The technical information belongs on GitHub in the various repos, whereas Ethereum cat herders website is specific to cat herders activity. And no doubt there will be opportunities in the cat herders pages to link off to the other resources and vice versa.
Right. Right. So in that case, uh, as we can put it, like it would be more as indexing other than providing about us thing, and more like kind of giving it a cosmetic better look to the tasks that are being performed, so that we can present it to the people, and at the time of getting funding it should be easier to just point them towards the website.
So again, this is just about how we would like phrase things on the Ethereum.org site, correct?
Part of it, yes, like first on the cat herders and then on the ethereum.org.
And that has to be identical in both places, just to really keep on Shane's point, which I think is very, very on point.
I don't know.
I mean, to
Yeah,
continue that point a little bit further, essentially the goals of the two places are not identical. So it stands to reason that the content should be different between the two of them.
correct. That's what my understanding is. Like, we do not want to have duplication of work. We do not want to have it at both the places. We want to have it at one place. The question here is like, which is the main place to keep it and which is the pointer?
Again, I mean, maybe I'll try and say this from a different angle. But if we look at sort of what we're trying to do in the Ethereum.org site and what we're trying to do on the Cat Herder site, it does kind of look like it's two different things. I think Hudson was making a point around this also. So duplication of effort, I don't think is so bad because the goals in both places are different, and the information, even if it's about identical subjects, would most likely be presented differently. On Ethereum.org, we're looking to provide information. Like, let's say we're talking about 1559. So we'd be talking about what it is, what work has been done on it, where it's going, like, different resources. Whereas with Ethereum cat herders, we may be doing the exact same thing. That information may still be there, but there's going to be a certain framing of this is something that we're involved with. This is something we're helping make happen. Like, Ethereum cat herders do 1559 outreach. Ethereum cat herder Tim Bako puts out 1559 stuff on HackMD, or whatever the case may be. The narrative changes between the two different sites. So I mean, I would say probably in the opposite direction. There would probably be a lot of duplication between the two, but the way the content is presented and what kind of narrative the content has, I think would need to be different between the two places. That might be a bit inefficient, though. If you're interested in the efficiency, I think that probably a lot of the information that would end up on Ethereum.org, which would be much more neutral, can probably be replicated not so difficultly, which isn't a word, in a cat herder's website. It wouldn't necessarily resolve who would do the work on a cat herder's website, but in terms of the actual information, that could probably be migrated pretty easily. Does that sound ballpark? Does that make sense to anyone?
So actually, I just want to hop in really quickly. If we wanted to do a website, or if we wanted to do stuff on the Ethereum.org, that's going to require like my proposal basically, or more or less like a web developer. So just keep that in mind.
Why would it require your proposal?
Well, and not my proposals specifically, but like you can't do WordPress or like any other really
Non-markdown,
React.
markdown, right?
Yeah, well, React solution for the Ethereum.org, because like there's, I mean, that's a website that was built with React or whatever it is.
I got you. I think you might have misheard what William said. It's not that we are making compatible pages from a underlying markup language perspective or layout perspective. It's purely moving the information.
Right. So
would it be?
Yeah, please, Michael, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I'm curious if maybe I can chime. I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but if I could chime in and maybe suggest some information here based on what I'm kind of hearing. So it helps, at least from my perspective, when I think about the audience that we're trying to appease to here.
Hmm.
And in my opinion, we sort of have two core audiences that we're trying to tap into. One of those, I would argue more importantly, are the newcomers. You're trying to broaden and expand your viewership and audience, but you're also trying to, within that, trying to educate and help guide people that are looking for information or curious about things. Likewise, you're also sort of appeasing and catering to senior developers and engineers, where they're already educated within the system for the most part. They understand what they're doing. They're simply just looking for content and information. So in that spirit, what I see is, and what I'd like to agree to is, I think that it's a really good direction to have the ethereum.org site be sort of the um, source of truth, if you will, in that everything is, or most of the content is linked to ethereum.org. And then what Ethereum Cat Herder's website effectively acts as is a news aggregate for the information that's pulled from ethereum.org. So say, for example, we're talking about a specific EIP. That information is typically, it doesn't mean anything to newcomers. So the role of Ethereum Cat Herder's website then would be to take the information that is being pushed by you, Ethereum Cat Herders, but also in alignment with the EF. So you're taking those EIPs, you're digesting and expanding on them. So maybe there's a blog post or the section specific to EIPs where when someone clicks on the EIP card, it goes into maybe just a brief summary explaining what those things are, and then links to the resources available to the ethereum.org website. That way, it provides a platform for Ethereum Cat Herders to push your own agenda, align with the EF, and also provide a valuable service, which is providing education and expanding on some of these abstract, very technically heavy aspects within Ethereum. So that would be my suggestion in how to proceed.
For the sake of time, maybe since a lot of us have ideas that seem similar but might have slight differences, if we write down like a paragraph each and have a place in like the issue in GitHub to write down and just make this asynchronous, that might be better, but I'll leave it up to Pooja.
The Discord channel is also an option.
Oh, Discord. Sorry. Yeah. Discord. Yeah.
I think both of those have their merits. I mean, I would say both or either.
I like Discord better actually because you can like reply to people and it's a little bit I like that for a sync chat like this. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there is a what's it called, website update channel in the Discord.
Okay, yeah, sure. I can move the discussion over there, but just to comment back on what Michael suggested, I think the idea make a lot of sense to me, and I would like to document that and mention that in the Discord channel if people will try to collect more thoughts on it from there. But I think I like the idea there. Sorry, does anyone have to say anything before we move on to the next topic? Okay, moving on, the next item for discussion was funding GitHub bot action. This is another actionable point coming out of EIP meeting. That is like the current EIP bot needs some fixing, and the group is planning to create a bounty on Gitcoin or a similar platform to get the task done. Hudson with the other group member did some maths and estimated the funds that might be required for the task that is available in the link. The proposal is to have this fund provided by the Ethereum Cat Herders multisig. As mentioned earlier, we are hoping to fund some of the community tasks, and with the price increase of ETH, we may have some buffer. So according to an estimate, this amount is somewhere around 7,000 USD that might be needed for the bounty. So if anyone has any thoughts on it, question, concerns for this bounty?
Can you repeat what the bounty is for?
If you can click on the link on the agenda item, it will take you to the section where the details are explained, like how we reached on the price, but that is particularly for the bot fixing that is needed for the Ethereum EIP's GitHub bot.
Oh, I would love to work on that, by the way. I remember actually when I first came into Ethereum Caterpillars, that was why I came in, because I wanted to work on that. So
Oh,
anyway,
awesome.
yeah, I would love to do something on that, assuming that I have time or whatever. I will review that on my own, but anyway.
Yeah, definitely review it. We still need kind of a requirements document. It's not going to be intense, but I think you kind of remember slightly the problems we had with it before, and we just need it to be more stable, less breaking, have documentation, that kind of thing.
Sounds good, yeah. Sounds like engineering work. So sign me up. Well, don't actually, but
Yeah.
Yeah. So the purpose of bringing it to this agenda, this meeting today is like getting thoughts on people if they have any concerns or if this is fine by everybody, because we have been looking for some opportunities to contribute more to the ecosystem, and this is one of the very good way to fund to the EIP broken bot. So
Yeah, I mean, I brought up this idea the last time, so I'm for it.
right. So I would bring it again to the multi-stakeholders channel as well, just to make it clear to everybody. I mean, like just to let them know, because I seem not all of us are here. And otherwise, from this particular group of people, I take it as there is no strong objection.
Yep.
Nope.
Okay, cool. So moving on to the next item is progress on ECH website. So far, we have received 2 proposals, one by Anvatica, which is represented by Shane, but Michael is here today to talk to us, and another from Melita. And as per my understanding from Anvatica's proposal, the proposal is overall for 3,500 USD to cover build and branding of the subject, $25 a month of charge if that has to be hosted on the Anvatica's server, and $150 per month if we want to maintain the overall site support. And the time estimated for this is like 4 weeks. Alita's proposal brings $4,500 for development and maintenance work, although the technologies that they are using are entirely different, and maintenance would be provided on case basis. Just one more information that I would like to add here is like, as per the present website, I know that is not like very fancy or very good looking, but as per my information, we are paying 25 USD for DNS, and that is there for one year of website. So in the last meeting, we heard the details of the proposal, and we are thinking of maybe moving ahead in this direction, considering everything that we discussed on the earlier agenda item about what to be kept on the cat herders and what to be moved out of that. Yeah, I'm just curious to know what people think about it, like on the proposal side.
Yeah, actually, I'll say my opinion. I always talk first. Someone else talk first.
okay. I honestly think that Shane's proposal is way better, just because like there's no reason to engineer a solution if we don't need engineering. And the fact that WordPress exists is kind of like it I don't necessarily believe that we need anything more complicated. And maintenance of a WordPress site is going to be way better than maintenance of our own website.
Cool. I can agree with that. I guess I would also say, I think, Alita, your proposal is really good if we had more if we were doing more than just information giving, like something a little deeper and more custom, I think would be good for you and Edson's proposal. But for our needs right now, I do like Shane's better for the price. And yeah, it would be something where in the future, if like we start getting interactive, when we have our year 2025 Cat Herders Con, then we need, stuff like that maybe integrated. We could reapproach something that's like a different than WordPress kind of thing, even though I think WordPress has plugins for that anyway. But you know what I mean? Like if there's something more complicated or the need arises, we still have, the yours proposal as well.
Of course. Well, and then also, like ultimately, the engineered solution is the most useful if you want to, like ultimately if you want to hire somebody to work on the website, kind of like part-time or whatever, just kind of continually, because like that's kind of where you'll get the most benefit from it. So. But in short, I agree with you.
Sounds good. What do other people think?
Yeah, sounds good.
No strong opinion.
So two questions that we would like to get answer here is like, do we want all the services that they have offered about maintenance and hosting of the server, or do we want to get it done like at present we are paying once a year or something? People have opinion on that.
Was that if we pay monthly for the server cost or if we pay yearly? Is that the question?
Yes.
Oh, I guess I'd just whatever Shane and them prefer, I'd say.
Shane, are we able to do hosting through wait, shoot, I'm forgetting the name of it. But there's like a hosting thing that's used a lot in development. I mean, I don't know if it like works with WordPress, but if you can use that, like it's a really good or cheap like hosting service. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I would assume, unless Michael wants to correct me, that we would have sort of full flexibility to host wherever we like. I'd be surprised if there were any hosting providers that couldn't spin up for WordPress in this day and age.
Yeah,
Oh,
wherever.
was it Netlify? Is that what you're thinking of, Alita?
Yes, Netlify. Netlify is amazing. Strongly recommend it, and it's also basically free. But anyway, I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do. Sorry to interrupt. I do like Netlify because we use it at the EF some. You can like check our DNS and we do have it pointing to some Netlify instances. The problem is if traffic ever spikes, they do start charging for that. Whereas if we're on the server that Shane's providing, it seems like it would be more flexible to go up and down in bandwidth charges because Netlify really eats you up with fees once you start getting like more traffic to your site of any kind.
See, like the thing is that I don't know, um like what is our expected traffic? You know what I mean? Like, and then would it be possible to start with Netlify and then move over to a different hosting platform if that becomes like financially? I'm just worried that like we would be um kind of over planning the host, because ultimately if we have a small bandwidth, then Netlify might work, because what wasn't it like $25 a month or something for the hosting with the other option?
Yeah, I guess that's a good question. What does the $25 get us? Bandwidth, server, etc.
And do we actually need that?
Yeah, in terms of need, that's a little hard for me specifically to address, just not having insights to any analytics or historical data. But in terms of the $25 charge and what that gets you, so it's a dedicated server. There's nothing else running on it. It would just be Ethereum cat herders. In terms of bandwidth, it's dynamically set, so there's no charge in terms of how much you consume. So it's a flat 25 if you're using only a couple KB. it's great for us, obviously, but if you're getting thousands of hits a month or a day, that's the same thing. We dynamically scale to those spikes as well. So we're good on that side. That's kind of why we do the flat one, just to average everything out.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing I was thinking, and Alita and also Annette, because Annette posted about Netlify, it seemed like Netlify is for people who need to rebuild the instance a lot. Like if you're running a site that has live updates or is going to be updated frequently, you can do a lot of deployment stuff. Whereas with WordPress, except for updating the WordPress itself, there's not like redeployment needs. It just kind of sits there.
Mm-hmm. I wonder also if the service that's being discussed offers like a built-in DB handling or database handling, because I know Netlify, I don't believe that Netlify does do that, and that might be why going with that service would be better.
Yeah, WordPress does require a database. Is that right? Anybody who else would know?
It does, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
I think
I mean, it does it automatically, but it does require like some sort of data storage.
I also like the fact that if Netlify goes down, we don't know what to do, but if the main server goes down, we know who to contact and what to do there.
Annette sent something in the chat. She says, as I like biking, I could compare it on this analogy. Wait, do you guys want me to read this? I don't know if I like it's
Your bike
but
is basically great. Oh,
it's
okay.
good. What's up?
So training to go through the hills. Oh, I see what you're saying. Deployment file. So this is really good, Annette. If we were to do deployments, we just won't be doing deployments, really. Is the only thing. So like any of the plugins that Netlify would have, especially the ones around deployments, like I don't really see how that would help us, I guess.
Yeah, we're not going to be having PRs or anything, so
Yeah, that was again one of my concerns, like how we would like to maintain the website, like in terms of updating contents as well. It's not going to be PR, but I believe that some credentials would be provided to some of the resources of cat herders.
WordPress has like has an admin interface for the on the website itself, to my understanding. So if you wanted to change things, like you would just log in on the website and then change things. So it would actually be way easier that way.
It'd be easier. It might be less cooperative, which I think is what Pooja was mentioning, right, Pooja? Like how people would update the site without having admin. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, I meant like it is going to be like person dependent, right? Like earlier it was anybody could from the community could come and create a pull request if they want to suggest any change or want to update any of the data. But now it would be like,
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, that's what I meant. Like,
Yeah, I think Michael can answer because I thought that Michael's proposal was that they would connect it to GitHub somehow, but I'm not positive.
Right. So we definitely have that capability. WordPress allows for GitHub integration to an extent. So if we're talking effectively, like in general terms, just text-based updates here, not anything, not trying to make adjustments to the site itself. We're just doing content. Then you should be fine. But if you're trying to go outside of that realm, we may have to do something a little bit more custom there to facilitate that. But yeah, we can definitely tie things in there.
Content like pages, right? So like you can put like a page with images, links, and text, and on just like we were kind of doing today.
Correct. A page and also a post. So if there's like a blog post or entry, it also applies there.
Oh, okay. So we can still collaborate on pretty much the same stuff we were doing today, Pooja.
yeah, that sounds good to me. I think this is was my main concern. Like we would not want to do overall changing outside the content side because that is again would be needing your support.
Pooja, how often does it happen that you might get sort of out of the blue contributors attempting to contribute to cat herders content via GitHub? Does that ever happen?
Not like frequent, I can say, because the cat herders website has not been in like public.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, mostly people reached out to us on GitHub, so we receive the other requests there and we update things over there, but not for the website itself. So that's the reason why we are working on the website to bring it to the people and say that okay, fine, we have all these things at one place. But I think I got the answer that I was looking for in terms of updating the content. If that can be somehow integrated to GitHub, that's going to be very, very helpful. And the last question on this topic from my end is one thing like the maintenance charges. Do we want to add that in the proposal? 150 per month if you want Anvatica to maintain overall site support. How much site support we are expecting here, and do we want to have these services?
Is the question to pay it ahead of time or as we go, Bert, versus as we go? Is that the question?
The first part was, do we need this? If it has to be like everyone starting from, say, for example, from February, we start. So it has to be paid from February to December, or how do we want to handle this?
Let me see.
I mean, would it be upfront, or would it be on need basis, or?
That'd be for just real quick, because I think I got confused for the support, right? Not for the hosting, right?
Right. For hosting, I think we are in consensus to move ahead with Anvatica.
Yeah.
If I'm not reading it wrong. Yeah. Okay.
So, Michael, for the support, would you anticipate that would commence once the initial project to create the website had completed?
For support, we typically charge that after the project is done, once the site is live, and then the support starts then. Or the charging starts then, rather.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it's month to month then. There's no contract or anything like that.
Yeah, that was my main question. Is it like kind of contract for a year we have to do that, or is it just month to month?
Yep, just month to month.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, me too. Oh, and also, Annette posted about Fleek. Everyone should check out Fleek. I had to type in like Fleek website on Google, and it's like Netlify, but it has ENS and IPFS integration. So it looks pretty cool. We don't want to use that, but yeah, I just wanted to say it looks cool.
Oh, okay.
So before we move ahead with this topic, I just want to conclude it for the note takers. Like on this proposal, it looks like we have consensus to move ahead with Anvatica team, and they can start the development work. For now, we would be like considering the development work, the monthly charges for website hosting, and this maintenance month to month that will come later. We may have to have some changes on the earlier proposal of the prototype that we shared with them on website. I'll be happy to work with him and figure out what all we want to put it there and what are their suggestions on it. So yeah, that's it from my end.
And then, well, so just to be clear, we're going with Shane and Michael, or Shane's proposal, for this, right?
I thought that was my understanding. Like
yeah, that's good. I'm just hopping in. So Shane, if you ever need any help, or if something comes up where you need, like, I don't know how to describe it, like an engineer, or I don't know if you're an engineer, but just let me know. Happy to help.
Nice one, thank you.
Okay, so we have just 10 minutes left. Uh, I would like to skip some of the items and maybe go to the events section, events and community meeting, the number 4. So at Denver is coming up. Hudson, if you may have something to share on that.
Oh yeah, the East Denver schedule is up, and there's some cat herders representation. I haven't collected all of what it is because there's a lot of talks. But I know that Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, there's a Future of ETH 1.0 panel that has me moderating, Tim Byko, Pooja, and James Hancock, all on a panel about the future of ETH 1.0. Is there anyone else here who's going to be there or attending?
When is it?
It's like a long period. It's like the 4th through the 12th, I think. Let me look. Yeah, it says the 5th through the 12th.
Yeah, I mean, do you want more cat herders there? Like, I hadn't specifically planned on doing anything about it.
Oh, when I say join, I mean applying to participate, even just like as a mentor or an attendee or something like that. And yeah, if we don't have to, it's not like we have to have an official presence, but it's just more like it's a really cool event if anyone wants to sign up on their own accord.
Okay.
Do you mind posting a link in the Discord?
Yeah. There's an application page on there, and it's going to be live streamed, but there's like perhaps you can get, and there's like hangouts, and I go every year, and I think it's a blast.
There's the link to the schedule.
Or be
Oh.
join.
Whoops. Here, let me get a normal link. Oh, you got the schedule link. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Excellent. Thanks, Brent. Yeah, so that's the announcement, I guess, unless there's anything else you have to add, Pooja.
Oh no, that's it. The next item here was the Ethereum stakeholders community call. So we are thinking of organizing a stakeholders community call. I mean, it's under planning. I don't know if we have much to share right now. It's basically to address the concerns from miners and other stakeholders of the Ethereum ecosystem if they have to share their thoughts, and we would try to invite some of the people and some of the people from uh, the EIP side and discuss more about it. The tentative date is like February 26th, but there's more to come on it. So yep, that is there.
It's kind of weird that they require your legal first and last name on the ETH Denver thing, but that was just an aside. Sorry.
They will, I can give them feedback or send you to who would get feedback for that, because that is something that usually shouldn't happen. I think they have to put that as like a default, but they probably will take whatever you put. So like people can put like their real names or nicknames or whatever they want, and I don't think people are going to, because I know people use pseudonyms and other things like that before, so it's probably not a problem, but it is something that they should specify, in my opinion, too.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. So moving on to the next item, it's a meeting notes from the 3 meetings. The notes are up for all these meetings. I don't know if people would like quickly want to give a quick summary of all these meetings.
With 8 minutes left, it's probably worth it to cover some of the other topics.
I can totally agree. So we have all these notes up on the GitHub repository of respective meetings. If people are interested, they can go ahead and take a look. The next item is PEEP and E. Last week, we had a recording of a universal upgradable proxy standard with Gabriel and Patrick. That is A very interesting upgrade on upgradable proxy. We had good conversation with authors with some question answers. Other than overview, it also included a wonderful remix demo. It's a good watch for developers if people are interested. You can go to Ethereum Cat Herder's YouTube channel, and there's this playlist of Peep and Ip that contains all the EIPs that we have recorded so far. The upcoming one is EIP 3076 validator client interchange format. It's for slashing protection with Michael, Sacha, and Danny Ryan. They are the co-authors for this proposal. It is scheduled on February 3rd at 4 p.m. EST. This is a core proposal, but it's not getting into HF1 as announced on last Thursday by Vitalik. This has already been implemented in some of the clients. So if you're interested to know more about it, do join us. You can also share your questions on the Ethereum Staker Reddit community. And on the ECH Discord, we are going to share the join in link in the Discord channel. Next is discuss and close the ECH GitHub issues and pull request. On PM side, I do not see any new issue, but we already have created that issue for a website update. I'm hoping to keep it updated and keep on adding information as we proceed. On funding side, we have quite a few open funding issues. I'm going to create the initial transaction today, right after this meeting, and we'll share it with the multisig members to approve it. Next is a review from meeting 50. Decision and action items. Number one, Alita and Shane have to add their proposal. They already did. Hudson left the comments, and I think we are with some decision on it. Pooja to create off-topic scam alert channel in Discord. Start using the channel efficiently. I've created an off-topic channel. A scam alert is yet to be created. And yes, we are trying to use the channel like for more communication. Pooja to add Shane to the meeting calendar. He is already there. And that's it on the agenda. Does anyone want to bring anything? Okay. So it looks like...
sorry, just on website, Pooja, I'm thinking I might catch up with Michael shortly, and then where would you like discussion on this to happen? On the issue?
There is a Discord channel. I will add you and Michael to there, and we can have the discussion on the channel related to website.
Great.
Okay, that's it on the agenda today. The next meeting is in 2 weeks from now, February 16th. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Hey,
Thanks.
be well, everyone. Bye-bye.
Oh.